Dr. Marizel van Rensburg. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, Sid. How are you?
I'm fine on this interesting day in Durban. I feel it's actually overcast on my side. I don't know how it is on your side.
It's very overcast here too. It was a bit drizzling this morning.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to know from you, how did your homeopathic journey begin?
Well, I've always had an interest in health. Especially my mom being a nurse, she had the BP cuff and the stethoscope and everything, and I'd play with it at home. I always fancied healthcare, and I always
Hmm.
thought that it would take me into medicine.
Hmm.
When it came to matric, however, it seemed like that wasn't in the cards for me. And then I applied for homeopathy, knowing that in the past I've had some interest in natural health. And so, yeah, I got to study homeopathy at DUT, and I feel so blessed. I feel like that's where I was supposed to be, because now I wouldn't go back to medicine, and I absolutely love what I do. Studying homeopathy, just now being a homeopath, I love the concept of the fact that homeopathy is holistic, looking at everything, the whole person, the physical, mental, emotional, and nothing gets left out. And
Hmm.
it's so exciting because every patient is different, it's individualistic. So, what might help for you with a headache might be different for someone else. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think I love where I'm at now. I am currently practicing in the Hillcrest area, and yeah, that's my story. I didn't mean to be here, but I did mean to be in Hillcrest. But I'm so happy to have found homeopathy. I actually think that homeopathy found me.
Wow. Okay. Are there any people that you look up to in the space that you were in?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of my lecturers from DUT that I look up to. I mean, they played a big role in shaping me into the professional that I am today. But yeah, I think there's so many other people in the holistic healthcare arena that I look up to, and there's um, always something new to learn. You never stop being a student if you're a homeopath. So always learning from this person or that person, and it's great to have so many people to look up to. Especially if I were to name some names, Professor Ashley Ross from DUT, Dr. David Nadir, all the DUT lecturers. Yeah, they've shaped me who I am. I'm so grateful.
What have been your highlights thus far?
Um, I think my biggest highlight would be the fact that I graduated and I was able to start my practice. I didn't think that that I'd be able to start it this soon in my career. But here I am. So that has just been very encouraging, and yeah, just finding a way on how to make it work. And I mean, my passion is in seeing and treating patients. So yeah, having something that I can call my own and have my own flexible hours is really awesome. I've also enjoyed, last year I worked at Kula Natural Health Center. It's a strictly homeopathic clinic, free clinic, for the people in the Kula village near to St. Lucia. And yeah, I've been working there and seeing how homeopathy has just transformed the lives of that community is absolutely incredible. And it definitely is something that every homeopath would want to bring up because we're just so proud about how homeopathy interacts in a healthcare setting, and the good that it can bring, not only for the people, but for uh, releasing some of the burden in the healthcare system.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think that would definitely be my two biggest highlights. But then, of course, every patient that I see and that has a positive effect, I am over the moon for. And I think I get just as invested in their health journey as they are. So, yeah, so many highlights, many highlights.
Hmm. What about the lowlights, if there are any?
Yeah, of course. Such as life, there's no
Mm.
lights, and we go ups and downs. I think the down would be the same as my up, which is the fact that I have my own practice now, which comes with a lot of entrepreneurial skills or the need for it, if I can
Mhm.
say that. So I am a healthcare person. I was never really a businesswoman, but now I've kind of this year I've had to find my feet in it and do stuff like accounting and advertising and just planning standard operating procedures and all the legal requirements. I mean, that's
Mhm.
not my strength, but it comes with a package, so I do it gladly.
Okay, so what are your future plans for this year and beyond?
Yeah, I think so. My practice being still a very new endeavor, I think I'm just going to put my all into it, make sure that it can be the best that it could be, and yeah, just exploring and finding different ways on how homeopathy can help others. I think sometimes we find ourselves very limited in what we think homeopathy can do, but homeopathy is so wide, and I think just constantly push that barrier and see how can we help more people. So that would be my biggest goal, is just to reach out to more people and be a part of their health journey, which is such an honor and a privilege to be part of someone's healing journey.
Okay, finally, what would be your word of inspiration for people that are interested in getting into homeopathic?
Yeah, so when it comes to patients, I
Mhm.
get a lot of questions. Can homeopathy help for this? Can it help for that? And this and that. And I always say the same question, the same answer to the question, and that is homeopathy definitely can help. There's really nothing that I think that homeopathy cannot be helpful with. So if anyone has an interest in homeopathy to see what it could do for their health, I would definitely recommend it. It definitely changes your perspective on healthcare. It's very in-depth consultations, and we
Mm.
don't just look at the one symptom that you're complaining about. We're looking at everything. We're looking at you, because you're the person with the disease, and the way your disease presents is different, and everything matters, and your body is asking for help, and how it asks for help is important. Um, yeah, and when it comes to those who's looking into studying homeopathy or becoming a homeopathist themselves, I would definitely encourage them to do so. We we direly need more homeopaths in South Africa, and I think the education system in South Africa training homeopaths is really incredible. I think, it comes close to places such as India, that's known for their homeopathy, that practices in the hospitals even, but just the education and training for homeopathy in South Africa is splendid. And it's quite an it's quite an intellectually challenging career, but there's some of us that just need that bit of challenge every day,
Mm.
knowing that each patient is different, and if you have flu now and flu later, it's never the same remedy. So yeah, it's encouraging to see that you can actually make a difference in people's lives. So I would definitely encourage them to do so.
Yeah, all I gotta say is thanks so much for your time and hope to have many chats with you in the future.
Of course, that'd be great. Thank you, Sid. Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Welcome.